1-800-449-8255 and welcome to the unbelievably sporadic yet consistent Sharkadoodle-Doo Talk Radio America. It's Sunday, September 24, 25, Sunday night, 9:38 p.m. It's a weird hour to be doing talk radio when you're a Sharky, but we're always on the brink of World War III with Biden and with Trump. Jim Morrison called it out when he said, "The future's uncertain and the end is always near. Let it roll, Sharky, roll. Let it roll all night long. Yeah, do it, Robbie." Well, all the topics are on the table. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 topics on the Clark the Shark Show. The most amazing #1 syndicated, #1 radio talk show in America, on the internet, in the solar system. Clark the Shark. #1, baby. And #1 on the list is one man's racism is another man's racism. 2, Ukraine gets long-range missiles. 3, the Daily Double. Nah, I'm just kidding. Putin can kill you anywhere. 4, Japan should have nukes. And 5, India can beat up China. These are the topics all on the table today on the fabulous, amazing, wonderful, balanced Clark the Shark Show, where every day, you guys, is truly fair and balanced. Unlike Fox News, unlike CNN, unlike MSNBC and NBC and C bullshit. CBS. You get the real unfiltered Sharky here. You get honest, ethical, scrupulous, scrutinal. I don't even know if there is a word really called scrutinal, but I'm going to scrutinify and ask topic #1. One man's racism is another man's racism. Well, I always notice that people of color are allowed to be proud. And not only are they allowed, but it is encouraged. And white people are never allowed to even masturbate or urinate or vomit. It's all forbidden right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. The truth of the matter is no one should be proud. None of us. Right here on the Sharky Show from the golden EIB Sharkerphone. It's not a microphone, you guys, because it's solid gold, baby. It's like something Dick Clark or maybe Hush Bimbo would speak into right here on the Excellence in Broadcasting EIB Shark Network, where it's always shark casting. It's not really broadcasting, because one man's racism is another man's racism. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, September 24, 2023. Oh, September 24. This date will live in infamy forever for Clark the Shark. For back in 1988, September 24 was a very dark day that year for Clark the Shark, you guys. There was this girl I really liked, and she got married, or, I don't know, maybe she got married. It was like a shotgun wedding. I later learned, because she was pregnant, and she was this girl that went to church, and, well, I always used to see her there, but, then she got pregnant, and I'm like, what? Wow. I mean, maybe she was like, I don't even want to think about it, but, or maybe she willingly, dude, 1988, those were confusing times, but there was a lot of heavy metal on the radio, Motley Crue and Whitesnake and, all that at 1-800-449-8255. And there were a lot of ladies making babies. Clark the Shark was 23 years old in 1988, and, September 88, I was in my band, GE, The Greenhouse Effect, and Torrance Redondo had just cut a pretty good demo cassette in earlier part of the year, like February, January, February, March of 88. Great shit that you all listen to out there. Right here on September 24, 2023, I'm looking back at 1988, and not much has changed, you guys. It's still pretty much a similar world in 2023 as compared to 1988, because one man's racism will always be another man's racism. You see, the true answer is nobody should be proud. Nobody should look in the mirror and care what color they are. I mean, it's cool, it's cultural, it's different, God probably doesn't care, but he did make us all look different. Maybe he's fascinated by it, but I'm not. I could care less what somebody looks like or talks like, or any of that. It doesn't matter to me. But some people abuse their race and they turn it into a weapon. They weaponize being a certain race, if you will. And a lot of black people think that only white people do this. Maybe not all black people think that. Maybe 50% or 20% or 8%. I don't know. But there is this perception that only white people are racist. And we all know that's not true. In fact, everyone who is a color is racist. Let me repeat that. All of you out there who claim a color, you're racist. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. So to every Mexican guy waving a flag from Mexico, or, someone from El Salvador or Costa Rica or Belize or Argentina or Colombia who comes here, more proud of that flag than the USA flag. And you probably shouldn't be proud of the USA flag either, because look at all the things it kind of stands for, you guys. You shouldn't be proud of any flag or any color or anything. As I, the immortal Clark the Shark, have said, don't even be proud of a hard day's work. I'll take it to another level. As the even more immortal Ron Nasty of the Ruddles once said, shortly after he said the Ruddles were bigger than God, but he meant Rod, he also said Nobody should be proud of anything, not even a hard day's work. Actually, not even a hard day's night, George. And I agree with that right here on the Clark the Shark Show at 1-800-449-8255. Topic number 2, Ukraine gets long-range missiles. Now, Trump is running around today saying we are close to World War III. And he's right. We are, because I don't even think Joe Biden is running our country. I think right now, something even deeper than the Pentagon, called the MID, Military Industrial, whatever the fuck, MIC, Military Industrial Complex. I call it the MID. I don't know why, but it's running the country, you guys. Not the Pentagon, not the House, not the Senate, not the White House. Maybe not even the military industrial complex itself. But you see, the Democratic Party loves wars because they love high interest rates and they love the contracts that come with wars, where we can just sell a plate or a helmet or a bowl of human feces for the next 20 years at a high fucking interest rate. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show. I'm not saying Republicans don't love wars too. You know, they love the foreign, endless foreign wars, and like everyone else down at, McDonnell Douglas or Boeing or Hughes Aircraft or, fucking TRW or RTX or whatever the Falcon and the Snowman fucking called it. There is some entity that loves war, and they don't want Afghanistan or Iraq or Iran or Ukraine or Vietnam to ever end. In fact, they don't even want Pearl Harbor, Hiroshima, or Nagasaki to end, because there's money in war, you guys. And it goes on forever and ever. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show. And it doesn't matter if Putin is threatening us. We're sending long-range missiles, baby, to Ukraine. I don't even know if Joe Biden's doing that. I don't even know if Adam Schiff or Pelosi or the Democrats or the Republicans are doing that. But baby, some algorithm, some twisted rhythm is doing that. Why the fuck we even involved in Ukraine? I'm pissed off at Russia for bombing them, and I'm kind of proud of Zelensky and the Ukrainians for fighting back. But, Zelensky is like a socialist, I don't know. The Russians call him a neo-Nazi. Me, Clark the Shark, I don't know if I would go that far. But then again, to me, Clark the Shark, I think neo-Nazis, communists, all evil is all on one side of the coin. And on the other side is a thin blue line of a few million Christian people defending the whole entire planet against Satan. But let me tell you guys, the little band of Christian people ain't gonna live forever, you guys. Eventually, the bad people will win, because this earth is controlled by evil. Don't ask me why or how God wants that or set that up. All I know is Ukraine gets long-range missiles, you guys. And that means Putin can kill you anywhere. Number 3, the third topic out of 5 today, September 24, 2023, right here on the Clark the Shark Show. Now, you guys think that Vladimir Putin killed that guy, I can't even pronounce his name, the head of the Wagner Group, whatever the fuck they are, why they're called that, I don't know. But Putin killed that guy, and guess what? Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, or just anybody anywhere. Vladimir Putin can kill you too, anywhere. Topic number 3 on the table. And you know it right here on the Clark the Shark Show. But we could probably stymie all of this if, number 4, Japan should have nukes. Now we know that North Korea has nukes, and they wave them around. They wield them, if you will, saber rattling constantly. Now, they weren't really doing this so much when Trump was there, because he made the ingenious maneuver of not only becoming friends with North Korea and Kim Jong-un, but Trump also became friends with Vladimir Putin and Russia. And if there's one thing the military-industrial complex does not want, it is friendships with Putin, North Korea, or any of that right here on the Clark the Shark Show. But Trump seemed to know the opposite is true. Let me repeat that. The high taxes, bloated government workers, the people dressed in gray, as Ray Davies might have called them, the people well ensconced and well entrenched in the military-industrial complex that Dwight D. Eisenhower warned us all against. They don't like Donald Trump, and they don't like you, little white trash guy in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama, Louisiana, Kentucky, Tennessee. They don't like you either if you stand up to them. And I think that's why Japan should have nukes, because Japan, you guys are on your own right next to China and North Korea. And it might be a good idea for you guys to petition the USA with prayer, in the immortal words of Jim Morrison, and ask for nukes. And if you can't get them, Japan, maybe you should just build them yourselves right here on the Clark the Shark Show at 1-800-449-8255, where I'm just getting warmed up, baby, at 9:56 p.m. It's getting late and I'm going to go to sleep. But before I do, I got number 5. India can beat up China. Let me repeat that. Number 5, India can beat up China. Every time China tries to do anything to India, India beats them up. And every time China says we're going to get in a war over Taiwan, we're going to get in a war over Japan, over North and South Korea, over the Philippines or Hawaii, India is always right there saying, China, if you do anything, we're going to beat you up. And of course, China just laughs, but they really don't. Because India serves as some sort of, I don't know, like a stopgap or like a dike or something. Like, there's a big lake and they are the dam holding it all back, baby. And they frustrate this country called China. China's like, we don't care about India. And India's like, we got nuclear weapons, China. We really have them for Pakistan or something else, but we also got them for you, baby. Nobody but you, China. China's like, what's with this damn India? Why don't they just submit and admit that we, China, are bigger, better, and stronger than India? And India are always like, China, we dare you. Go ahead, make our day. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255 from the fabulous golden EIB Sharkerphone. The excellence in Sharky shark casting, not broadcasting, where I'm telling you about India can beat up China. And this is very frustrating for China because they want to man up. They want to be on the world stage. They want to go over to Taiwan and kick some ass. They want to go to Japan and kick some ass. But if they ever dare do any of that, India will kick their ass. Did you hear that, China? And they're like, yeah, we heard you, Sharky. We heard you. And they're like, what? Are you guys friends with India? USA, Sharky, you guys? I'm like, I don't know. What? We're not really the best of buddies with India. But India might think that if China can just waltz their way into Taiwan or Japan or the Philippines or Singapore, well, maybe they might try to do that to India. You think so? Maybe China? China's like, yeah, you know what, Sharky? You might have a point. You know, it's kind of like when the U.S. Does something, Cuba is always like, well, you know, we're going to do something to the U.S. Even though they can't win or they'll never beat us, but, you know, they try to neutralize the U.S. the best they can, sort of like India against China. And India even goes so far as to say, don't worry, world, even if China messes with Russia or even countries we don't know or we don't like, we're still gonna mess with China. And China's like, well, we're going to send troops down there to India to mess with you. And every time they try to, India always beats up the Chinese troops and sends them packing back to China. So China's like, well, one day we're going to take over the whole world and the whole world will be run by robots. It's going to be beautiful. And India's like, no, you won't. We won't let you. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255, man. One man's racism is another man's racism. Topic number 1. Ukraine gets long-range missiles. Topic number 2. And topic number 3. Putin can kill you anywhere except maybe India might not like Putin very much. If he does that, they might do something to him. 4, Japan should have nukes. And 5, India can beat up everybody, not just China. India can beat up everybody. 1-800-449-8255 right here on the Clark the Shark Show. Think about it, you guys. Take a while, think about it. When will the good people have their say? Do 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 do. I hope you're still around to see the day. Take a while, think about it. Take a while, think about it. Down, 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 down.